What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Pure Evil MMA. I'm your host, as always. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. We have a very special guest with us here today, joining us fresh off of Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series, getting the contract on a 4-fight win streak with a 17-5 record. Very, very inspiring story. We got Jordan Harris, the native psycho. What's going on, Jordan?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome, man. So obviously it's pretty early in the morning right now. What do you got brewing right now?
I just left the gym. I've been up since like 4 a.m. So I've been up since 4 a.m. I went to the gym probably around 6, and I just got back not too long ago, and I'm heading into work in a little bit here. Probably another hour I'll head into work.
So it's got to be really exciting right now. You were just on Dana White's Tuesday Night Contender Series. You got the finish. So you're also going to work. You're training at Rufus Sport. I mean, you're almost there. It's like within arm's reach. Are you feeling that, the energy, that excitement yet?
Yeah. I mean, I have my whole schedule kind of sorted out with my job. I'm going to be training a lot more. I feel like I've been training more and more. Like the last couple after each fight, I'm training more and more and more. So I'm definitely excited. I want to put on some more muscle, and I'm just ready for the UFC. I want to up my jiu-jitsu game, and I definitely, I just want to up everything, but specifically my jiu-jitsu game and my wrestling game and strength and conditioning.
So one of the most inspiring parts about your story is how you started your career kind of on a rough foot. What made you stay mentally strong enough to keep pushing forward to get to the point that you're at? Because I feel like a lot of anybody in sports, whether you're in school, at your job, if things aren't going your way, it can be really frustrating. So what did you do to keep that mindset and push forward to get where you're at right now?
Oh man, I did a lot of stuff. I got I started doing a lot of really weird like ritual stuff.
Whatever
Like
works.
things had to always be the same. So like before I would leave for my fights, my room always had to be clean. I always had to wear Valley Tudor shorts. I always had to drink a beer right after weigh-in.
Wait, why? What's up with that? Stop right there. What do you mean you have to drink? Where does that come from?
I don't know. I read something about beer like somehow helping like with a weigh in or helping after a weight cut.
Your
And
muscles will help
yeah,
relax, I guess.
it was something weird I had read, but for some reason at the time it sounded like a good idea, so I started doing it after every weigh in, going at a pound of beer, and so I started doing that. Just everything had to be in order. I'd wake up every single morning. I'd listen to a motivational video. I'd listen to Eric Thomas, or I started listening to Gary Gary V, every single morning. Um, I was working all these crazy jobs over the last couple of years, literally crazy jobs. I'd worked third shift as a CNA. I wanted to be a nurse at one point. I've done everything. I worked at PF Chang. I worked for a construction company. But it was always the same thing. I worked delivering bread at one point, waking up at like 3 a.m. every morning. And all these jobs really helped me. I would be really like upfront with all the managers, like, hey, I want to make it to the UFC, and this is my dream. And if you can work with my schedule, that'd be great. They all were like on board with it, which is kind of amazing, to be honest.
And look at you now. I mean, there's so many people out there that if I said to my boss a couple of years ago that I was even going to be interviewing UFC fighters, he'd be like, "Dude, you're out of your mind." So when somebody's like, I'm training to be in the UFC, a lot of people are like, "Yeah, all right, kid." Did you get that feeling a lot with people like not believing in you? Because I struggle with that a lot.
You know what? It was really hit or miss. But when it came to, it was weird. I think when it came to business owners, like entrepreneurs, I think that like they saw that I had a dream and saw that I had a goal, and I think that they could relate to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they were willing to help me out, and it's kind of crazy the relationships I've built over the last couple of years with these people that they're like, congratulations, Jordan, I know you could do it. And we're talking 4 or 5 years in the making, and but definitely with other people, I tell them, I left. I went to UW Milwaukee. I was in college for 1 year. I wanted to be a nurse, and when I had left high school, actually the transition from high school to college, everybody asked, "So what are you going to do, Jordan? What are you going to do?" And I told them, well, I think I'm going to go out and be a professional fighter. And everyone rolled their eyes at me. And then I was 1-3, and I was in college, and still I told people I'm going to be in the UFC, and people rolled their eyes and they laughed at me, literally laughed at me, laughed in my face. And I never I never took it to heart. I was just like, fuck you, you know. And I just kept going, and I'm here. I'm happy I'm here.
So that's a big thing that a lot of people struggle with. And there's a lot of people, like, we'll take Jojo Giannetti, for instance, who's just on this season Ultimate Fighter, gets to the finale, loses the fight, and then finds out that he's not going to be in the UFC, but yet the people that he's beaten are going to get the UFC contract. It could be so frustrating, and it's so hard to stay, mentally positive. And there are people out there that will understand, that have been through it. But for the most part, there's a lot of people out there that have never seen somebody achieve greatness. And it's really exciting when it's finally opening up. So my next question to you here is kind of backtrack about the whole beer thing. When you go to the UFC weigh-ins and you do the early morning weigh-ins, people are going to look at you a little crazy, being like, why is that guy drinking a beer at 11 in the morning?
Hey, if they let me drink a beer at weigh-ins, I'll do it. I've been doing it all the other times, so I never do it like in front of anybody. But if they let me drink a beer at weigh-ins, that'd be amazing.
So what did Dana say? Like, do you have a fight lined up? Like, where are you at right now for your UFC career? Where are we looking at?
I have nothing lined up. I have nothing lined up. I have a what's it called? I'm on a medical suspension right now, so I'll be done with my medical suspension on October 1st, and then after that, they said that they're going to let me know. But with what I've been noticing lately is everybody that's on Top Contender, they've been putting them up against like pretty hard dudes. So I'm just getting ready now. Like I've been trying to get my weight down, and my weight didn't really pop up too high. I want to walk around at like 170, and I want to put on about 5 to 10 pounds of muscle. If I can put on 5 pounds of muscle and walk around at like 160, 155 to 160, I'd be really happy with that.
So before we let you go here, I just kind of want to brush up on what, the Contender Series is like. When you showed up to the gym, I say this on every interview when I've interviewed somebody that's been on the Contender Series, it's kind of a weird experience because there's no crowd there. It's really just family and friends. So did that kind of, get in the back of your mind, or you just kind of black that out? What was the experience like?
It was pretty cool. Usually, to be honest, I don't usually hear anybody. I usually just tune in on my coach's voice. But it was really cool. I could hear both my coaches, Professor Wanderlei and Coach Joe Nichols. But then I had Anthony Pettis in the corner, and I had my other teammate Paul Felder, and then I had Duke Rufus there, and I could hear Duke's voice out of all of their voices. So it was definitely a unique experience, and I felt to be honest, I didn't really feel any kind of stress. I felt like I have the best opportunity right now. I have Dana White literally right there, and so it's just like we got to make something happen, and I showed up, so I'm happy.
Man, that's so excited when you finally get your shot and things just work out for the best after all the hard work that you've put in. It's exciting, man. That's why I had to grab you to come on the show, because you've been through the hard times. You've been through adversity when it comes to people, denying you, or, even you being upset with your record early on to make a comeback. Now you're on a winning streak. I mean, man, I am looking forward to see you get inside the octagon, hopefully before the end of the year. So last but not least, man, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Shout out to all of your teammates out there. I've had Paul on the show before. There's a great group of guys out there, so there's no doubt in my mind that you're in the right spot right now. Things are working out, the dots are connecting, and I just can't wait to see what happens next. So, with that being said, man, the floor is all yours. If you have any sponsors, anything at all that you want to say, the floor is all yours.
I'd just like to thank my friends and family. I'd like to thank Rufus Sport. I'd like to thank Nestala Kombucha, one of my newer sponsors. And then I'd also like to thank, hello?
I'm right
Can
here.
you hear me?
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh, yeah. I'd also like to thank Combat Corner and Raystar Training. And then, nothing other than that. I'd just like to thank everybody for continuously supporting me. And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at jgriffmke. So that's JGRIFFMKE.
And the last note here, you're actually Native American, so that's a really big deal going to the UFC. You're gonna have a lot of support behind you as well. So, man, I'm looking forward to see what happens here.
Oh, wait! Shout out to Native American Fight Gear. That's one of my sponsors as well. So shout out to those guys.
Hell yeah! All right, thank you, man, so much. Enjoy your day, and we'll talk to you soon. There you go, guys. Jordan Griffin. What a cool name. Like, you got Michael Jordan and Ken Griffey. Not really work out that Griffin. Well, I guess it's close enough. Pretty cool name when it comes to sports, at least. Guys, I know you were a little upset because I was supposed to go live yesterday with Jordan, but unfortunately, no, things just didn't work out. It's hard to line schedules up. That's why I went live this morning. I actually got to run out. I'm going to go get breakfast. But make sure if you're new here, subscribe down below. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Bring us with you. Also, I am doing a show with James McSweeney called Gloves Off. James McSweeney was on season 10 of Ultimate Fighter alongside Kimbo Slice, Brendan Schaub, Justin Wren, Roy Nelson. I mean, come on. We're doing an amazing job with episode 5 especially. We got a lot of feedback there, so make sure you check that out. It's on the Pure Evil MMA iTunes page. So, man, I'm just really looking forward to everything coming up. And we brought up a lot of good details as well, like EBI bringing on BJ Penn. I would love to see that. So make sure you guys check that out. You can find the link down here below as well. And last but not least, guys, I am going to be going live this afternoon to talk about what happened this weekend at UFC 228 because there's a lot to unravel there. I'll be checking in. I will say, so right now it's 9 o'clock. I'll be back here by 11. I'll be going live, I promise. I'll talk to you guys at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. I'm Evil Eddie from Pure Evil MMA, MyMMAnews.com. Remember, without evil, there's no purity. Behave yourselves.